All right, what we have here is a 21 and up F-150. And this would also apply to any F-Series with the panoramic sunroof or Expedition Navigator. Now, I have got a fix for the common complaint where people that have the models that have the speaker right here above the driver or the passenger side, right below the sunroof, people will be complaining about water coming out of the speaker, maybe in heavy rains. Now, this one doesn't have a speaker, but it does indeed have that same leak. Now, I'm just gonna say up front, what I'm about to show you here treats the symptom and not necessarily the cause. You might not actually ever fix the cause, because these things are to the point to where, as the kids in my kids' high school say, it just be like that sometimes. Under a hard enough rain, these panoramic roofs pass a ton of water. I don't care what you do to them. You can put new seals on them, you can lube them up. If you keep them lubing them up, that's the best thing to do with silicone paste. I'm talking about the seal now. But you can do all of that and make sure the drains are flowing, and sometimes they will still just pass enough water to overwhelm the drains. So I have come up with a treatment for the symptom, not necessarily the cause. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you where the leak comes from, and I'm going to show you what I do to fix it. Now, I have seen a couple over the years, particularly on the 15 through 19s, a couple of people have done something similar to this, and I have commented on their videos or maybe on their threads on the forums saying that you didn't fix the cause, you fixed the symptom, and while that might keep water out of the car, you didn't fix the root cause of the problem. Well, here I'm going to turn around and do more or less the same thing, because there's no way to fix it 100%. So sometimes. Anyway, without further ado, if you have a 21 or newer and you have one of those speakers right here and it's coming out of the speaker, here is where it's going to come from. You can pull this down and you see this right here is where your deflector comes through, and water will drip right out of that. When you have the speaker, it's right over top of the speaker. Water gets in here where it's not supposed to be, and it drips through here. Now, there's two sections to this track. There's this side, and I'm gonna open the glass and show you in a second, but there's the actual track side where all the greasy mechanism slides back and forth, and then there's a wall, and then there's the outer trough. That's where the water's supposed to be. But if it's coming out of here or coming out of this little plate where these rivets are, which is also where it comes out, and there's three of these. There's one there, and then there's one in the back. What those plates are for the magnets. The track itself is aluminum, and these are steels. They riveted on here so the magnets will have somewhere to snap to. Anyway, if water's getting in here, it's not supposed to be there. And then the question is, why is it there? Well, nobody's been able to pinpoint, a quote-unquote the cause. Sometimes it's a sunroof seal, sometimes it's an adjustment. Sometimes it could be the drain tube stopped up. Sometimes it could be the trough. The trough's got this little seal on it right here. Sometimes that can be the problem. I've seen people extend the walls on this trough down here. I've never actually seen that help anything, but I've seen people do it. And sometimes all of that stuff is good, and all of it tests good, and all of it looks good, and still on a hard enough rain, you will get water that gets in here and comes out here. All right, so what we're gonna do in a nutshell is I'm gonna take some foil butyl backed tape and cover this up. I'm gonna take a little bit of silicone and cover up these holes, because these rivets go all the way through. And I'm gonna show them to you from the top here in just a second. So we're going to get out of the truck, and I'm gonna show you here in just a second. So when you have this problem, if you check it right after it rains, generally speaking, what you will find is some water down in this little channel right here. Well, there's a wall right here, and there should not be water right there, but yet there is water right there, and you get water in here. You should never, ever, 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 ever have water in here, yet it gets there. And if you can see, this is the little leaf spring for the deflector, and it penetrates there, and it'll go through there. And these rivets penetrate there, and water can go through them. But water's never supposed to be there. So how do you stop water from getting there? Well, that's the $64,000 question, isn't it? Sometimes you can't. And I hate to say that, because I just detest not being able to fix the actual cause. But I've been working on these things for 20 years, and this particular model here since about 2020 when they came out. And you will run across some where, you know, it just defies any diagnostic procedure, and it will get water under here under certain circumstances. So until the day comes that I find the actual answer of where it's coming from, there's any number of reasons that water can get in here. This is the trough where water's supposed to be. It's never supposed to be over here. The only way it's going to get in here is back up in here and back up and to back up if the drain's not flowing. But the drain's flowing fine on this one. It can get in between the seal, and maybe if the trough little wall isn't right, it can get in there that way. It can possibly get in from the rear, although it shouldn't be able to, but yet it does. So I'm going to show you how to seal this off, and then when the day comes that I finally see one of these live and in person leaking and find an actual root cause, I'll make a video on that. But until then, this will at least probably keep your truck dry. So let me show you what I'm going to do. All right, I've just sealed that. This is flowable silicone. I just put a little small dab in the top, and you can see, there it is. You can see that it actually came through. So there's no question that those penetrate all the way through. So if any water gets up there, it's obviously going to come through there. All right, so that's sealed. That's not going to happen anymore. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some butyl tape, a little square of it, and I'm going to completely seal around this piece. You can see daylight, I'm pretty sure. Test it, there it is. So if any water gets in there, it's obviously coming through there. Now, right now, we have not even really pulled the headliner down. We're just literally holding it down with our hands. As you can see, there's the weasel right there. He's holding it down, helping me out. Now, I'm going to suggest that you seal these rivet holes also. You can't get to them from the top, so you're just going to have to take a little bit and just push it right up there, if that's even a word. And then the one in the back. And don't get it all on here because your magnet needs to obviously stick to that. Just get a little silicone, push it right up in there, it'll stay. That's all you need. You just need to stop the water. That's not the main place it's coming in anyway. It's this one. It's this one and here. So I'm going to cut a piece of tape, and I'm going to show you that. All right, now I'll close everything. We can see it a lot better. Okay, you can see the piece of foil that I have partially installed. It's going to go over there. Like you can see, it doesn't need to be a very big piece. Go over there, push it on there. This is butyl backed foil tape. You can buy it at any big box store. And you just push it up there, and no more water will ever come out this hole. Now, again, no water should ever see that hole, nor should it see these, but yet it does. And, you know, we can either keep saying we can't find the leak, we can't find the source of it, or we can treat the symptom and hopefully we can find a cure for the main cause eventually. But I have been doing this fix now for a couple of years, good year and a half, I'd say, maybe 2 years, and I have yet to have one come back after I've done this. So I'm gonna say it's fairly effective so far. Anyway, so that's all it is. If you've got one, if you've got an F-150 or Expedition or whatever, or any F series with the speaker right here, overhead speaker, 21 or newer, and the water's coming out of there in heavy rain, and you've checked your sunroof drain, you've checked your seal, you've checked your adjustment, you've checked everything up there, nobody can find a problem, you can't find a problem, you can't watch my videos and find a problem, but yet water still gets here, try this. This will at least stop the water. So, in review, you're gonna get you a butyl piece of tape. I recommend the butyl. Clean this off a little bit, and then you cut you a little square. Don't have it way over here because you'll see it, but right here you won't see it. Put that on there. That stops the water there. A little dab of silicone, just jam it up in that hole. You can actually open the sunroof and put it in from the top if you want to, but it doesn't really matter as long as you stop it. And then that one and that one, and that will make your symptom go away. And even if water gets in here, it shouldn't enter the cab anymore. And hopefully one day I'm gonna find an absolute cause of this, and I'll make a video on it, but this should get you by probably indefinitely. So questions, comments, let me know. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the long-winded explanation, but this is just I'm not particularly proud of this fix, to be honest with you, but you know, it kind of is what it is. I can't just keep having them go out the door and say, well, I don't really see a problem with it. I agree you have a leak, but I don't see what's causing it. And, you know, I could guess at parts all day long. A seal, a glass, seal on either glass. You can buy seals separately for these glasses, but it doesn't always fix this problem. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, questions, comments, let me know. Thanks. Okay, same day as most of the rest of this video. This is the same exact leak and more or less the same truck, except this one does have the speaker. Let me just show you. I've already put the piece of foil tape there. Look at that. That's literally, there's the speaker, there's the foil tape. Speaker, foil tape. So as you can see, if water leaks out of here, it's coming right through this speaker. And so same thing applies. I have put a seal on this one because the seal was a little sketchy. You can replace the seals on these. They're only about 50-60 bucks, so they're not too bad. I'm also going to do this fix. So I just wanted to show you another example, and since I referenced that it come out of the speaker and the other truck didn't have a speaker, and it turns out just like 40 minutes later I'm looking at another one and it does have a speaker. So there you go. That, when you block that off, it's not coming through this speaker anymore, and you definitely want to block these two little holes off here, and of course the ones in the back as well. So anyway, that should be about all of the video. Thanks for watching.